electrocuted by a goalkeeper before, has he?
No, that's a new one.
No, but what an honour, right? And it just shows you how big a star Thierry Henry is in this world of football. But for PSG today, they got to play their own game. They got to do exactly what they've done all the way up until this final. If they do that, I think they are just favourite. Look at Thierry.
Yeah, Thierry and Kimpembe, they're two greats for French football as well, carrying out that trophy. Thierry, many fans will remember, was a part of that final 20 years ago in France against Barcelona. They didn't quite get over the line. Final thoughts on how you see this game going, Peter?
Yeah, and it's interesting to talk to Thierry about that, because it really hurts him. He has heard for 20 years about this, and all he wants today is for Arsenal to bring that trophy down back to London. And if they succeed, what a season that Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal team has then had, winning the double, the big double, Premier League and the Champions League. But they're up against, and we've heard this throughout the 2 hours we've been on air, they're up against what people consider to be the best team in Europe. And it takes an absolute perfect performance for Arsenal to win this game.
Yeah, PSG looking to make history and become a part of an elite club, winning back-to-back Champions League titles. But it's time for the main event. But before that, we've got a unique viewing experience for you, because if you want to see some of the biggest names in entertainment and football, you can head over to Paramount Plus, where David Beckham is joined by none other than Mick Jagger. And yeah, there's our Kate getting involved there. She's going to have a fun viewing.
I'm going to run over there just to have a picture taken with him.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do there. Mick Jagger's an Arsenal fan. Let's see what he can do in terms of bringing a bit of luck for the Gunners. But it's time for the main event. Your commentators for the Champions League final between PSG and Arsenal are our very own Clive Tilsley and Rob Green. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you again at half-time.
So here's the question, Rob. You've been trying all year, the last 3-4 years, to achieve one thing through ridicule, through heartache. Last Sunday, you eventually get your hands on that one thing, the Premier League trophy, and somebody says there's a bigger prize to win next weekend. Does that energise you to jump higher, run faster, or do your body and soul say, nah, this is enough, can't go again?
You go again and again and again. It's the biggest test on the biggest stage. You have to meet it head on. You just keep going.
Well, we were fortunate enough, privileged enough, to call both of the Paris-Bayern semi-finals for CBS and Paramount Plus a month or so ago. And a lot of people, maybe me included, thought that should really have been the billing for the final. I've changed my mind. This is even better. PSG and Bayern Munich were two teams cut from the same cloth. Both wanted to play the same way. But the great fights are between a boxer and a fighter. Different styles, different strokes. And tonight we have two very different champions in the ring together. It's a battle of wills. Who can play this final on their terms? A very different Arsenal compared to even 2 weeks ago. Then they were contenders for titles. Now they are champions. Now they are winners. And a very different Paris Saint-Germain compared to 12 months ago. Virtually the same lineup of players. Last year, they thought they could become champions of Europe. Now they know they can. Most of the pre-match lineup speculation surrounded the choice of right back. And Achraf Hakimi has not played for 32 days because of a hamstring issue. But he starts the final. It means no place in the starting 11 for Warren Zaire-Emery. And so exactly the same outfield 10 that began last year's final in front of Gianluigi Donnarumma. That's the only change to Luis Enrique's selection in Munich a year ago. 9 of the PSG 11, and indeed 9 of tonight's Arsenal 11 are heading stateside to join their national teams at the World Cup after this game, immediately after this game. The referee here, Daniel Siebert, is not. He's not been selected for duty this summer. Marquinhos and Martin Ødegaard will captain Brazil and Norway at the finals. The reigning champions of Europe and France, the new champions of England, a repeat of last season's semi-final. Arsenal's first choice right back, Jurrien Timber, is not fit to start. 21-year-old Spaniard Christian Mosquera is pressed into emergency service against Kvaratskhelia. No place in midfield for Zubimendi or Eze. Ødegaard and Luis Skelly preferred. And up front, Kai Havertz leads the line with Victor Gyökeres on the bench. Havertz scored Chelsea's winning goal in the 2021 Champions League final. This match is brought to you by Heineken, UEFA Champions League official sponsors. Well, I mean, you look at it, Rob, the old song, when an irresistible force meets an old immovable object, something's got to give. That something is the most prestigious club football prize of the year. But it's not just going to be attack versus defence, is it?
No, Arsenal will have their out ball. They will look to attack. They do have their set pieces. The guy said it before the game. If they look to anything today, it will be those moments. And so often, finals are about moments.
It is the best attack against the best defence in the Champions League. And don't be going anywhere. Of the 8 knockout games PSG have played in this season's Champions League, 5 have had a goal in the first 10 minutes. They scored less than 12 minutes into last year's final. Scored inside 2.5 minutes in this year's Munich semi. Scored inside 3.5 minutes in last year's semi at Arsenal. They're not for slowly easing themselves in. They're usually at you from the off.
Well, it is, and they are relentless. PSG. It's resilience against brilliance. Just looking at PSG in their 4-3-3, so fluid under Luis Enrique. Hakimi returning just adds to that fluidity for Arsenal at their own right back with Mosquera there. Kvaratskhelia, the left winger, will stay wide, will stay high, will look to expose him in one-on-one situations. That's PSG's route to success, you feel, today. For Arsenal, this here now, set pieces and counters through Kai Havertz, that's their route to success.
And they've not been in any hurry to take this free kick. They've already taken 30 seconds or so out of this game, setting it up. It is eventually delivered towards the head of Hincapié. Gabriel it was who turned it into the penalty area. Arsenal's progress through the knockout stages has been far more measured, miserly almost. Their 6 knockout games produced 8 goals in total. Remember, there were 9 in one of PSG's. 1 goal conceded in the last 5, and that was one of those random handball penalties that have rather scarred this season's competition. Arsenal have not lost a single Champions League game all season. Paris can't say the same. Here is Mosquera. Up towards Havertz. Ødegaard trying to feed off him.
Thierry Henry before the game was talking about Safanov taking goal kicks and going long and off the pitch, with PSG looking to press. And the interesting different thing is that for Arsenal, they won't go backwards. They will just launch it forward. They will look for the physical presence of Kai Havertz with that situation.
Nuno Mendes wandering, as PSG players tend to do. João Neves.
Looking at the bottom of the screen, Clive, that Dembele is creating the extra man, dragging Declan Rice out here in the bid to lure Mosquera out. Kvaratskhelia, number 3 and number 7, just there. They've got that fluidity. Just so aware of it, Arsenal. Declan Rice has got to have wing mirrors to see the players that are around him.
He dropped in between the centre-backs in Madrid against Atletico in the first leg of the semi-final. He was outstanding there. And he is the deepest of the Arsenal midfield 3. Hakimi. Vitinha. Scalia coming looking for the ball. Here is Fabian Ruiz. João Neves is able to lay it off to Nuno Mendes. Paris Saint-Germain are just a little more watchful than we've seen them in other games. And I think that's a mark of respect for Arsenal.
Yeah, and they sent a message in the semi-final, didn't they, against Bayern Munich in that second leg to say, we can mix it. And they're just saying here, we can be measured, we don't want to get dragged into any chaos, we don't want to be exposed at the back. There's a reason for the slow start.
Arsenal's defence breached just twice in those 6 knockout games by Julian Alvarez's penalty in Madrid and a Robert Andrich header from a Bayern corner kick in Leverkusen back in early March. 2 set-piece goals conceded in 9 hours of football. PSG have scored 18 times in the same 9 hours. They haven't scored past this Arsenal defence, though.
Well, Daniel Siebert's got his first little throw of protest there from Fabian Ruiz. There was a nudge that you can all see. And then threw the ball away. It's a lucky man, Fabian Ruiz. Threw the ball away. That's a yellow card in any situation.
Maybe the fact that it was inside the first 5 minutes spared him. It shouldn't necessarily, but maybe the referee is playing the diplomacy card there. Here's Havertz with an excellent first touch. Left back is Hincapié, preferred to Calafiori, and that's broke very kindly for Kai Havertz. He's got Saka with him. It's Havertz for Arsenal. Oh! What a start! He's been here before.
Kai Havertz.
He scored in the Champions League final before. He is Arsenal's golden goal scorer.
Kai Havertz.
The man with a dead eye for the goals that really matter. Late equaliser in the round of 16. An even later winner in the quarter-final. He scored in the Champions League final 5 years ago. And he scored again. When Kai Havertz scores, he makes them count.
Well, it's their first attack, and it's the first goal, and there's a stroke of luck. But you watch that little deflection. Oh, Kyrgios. Pacho just switches off. You thought there was a touch too many, but the finish is a blistering one. And there's the stroke of fortune. The arm is raised, but there's no chance of a handball. Kai Havertz, complete coolness personified, picks his spot and buries it past Safanov. PSG is stunned. Arsenal elated.
One international keeper judging another. Should Safanov have done better?
You cannot react in that time for Safanov. You stand, you make yourself big, you say, beat me if you can. And boy, did he beat him.
The team that has scored the first goal has won the last 11 Champions League finals. Fabian Ruiz is down. Some discomfort. He's not got a decision.
He's just taking some long, deep breaths now, Kai Havertz. It's just almost an opportunity that you felt like there was too much time for him. There was a touch too many, you thought. When you go high and you get it right, there's nothing a keeper can do from that time. You're worried about it being low. You're worried about it being in and around your body. You just cannot get up there. There's a few 10,000 fans away to our left. Went absolutely wild.
He scored against Paris Saint-Germain in the league phase last season, a brave header in London. But he missed the semi-final encounters through injury. Missed a lot of this season too, but it was his goal against Chelsea that took Arsenal to a Wembley final in March. He headed the winner against Burnley that all but clinched the title success. Stepped up to take that late penalty in Leverkusen in March. Coolly slotted the quarter-final winner in Lisbon in April. And 5 Mays ago, it was his goal that won the Champions League for Chelsea against Manchester City in Porto. Mikel Arteta's bold selection to go with Havertz ahead of Gyökeres pays off immediately. And I told you there's usually an early goal in a Paris Saint-Germain game. Here's Desiree Doué. In towards Dembele, headed away by Saliba. Trossard, who might just claim an assist. He's not going to outrun Hakimi.
Just that moment there where it went end to end. That's the sort of game Arsenal trying to negate. They do not want that to happen. They want this
UCL, guys. What do you think?
Cumbersome approach. PSG are just going to have to rethink this quickly. They're going to be confident on the ball. Arsenal are going to be confident off it now.
They did actually concede 2 early goals in Monaco in the round of 16, right at the start of the knockout phase. Came back to win that match and that tie. There was so much toing and froing during their semi-final against Bayern Munich. It's not irreversible by any means, but it's a shaker for the defending champions. Fabian Ruiz, Kvaratskhelia turns into Rice. Saka gives it away, or at least it was seized upon well by Coutinho. Saliba scoops forward only as far as Nuno Mendes. That was a foul by Havertz. Well, 1 or 2 eye-catching selections by Mikel Arteta. One he's certainly got right so far.
This is the 4-4-2 defensive block. And the guards at the front of the minute alongside Kai Havertz. And this is the area down here. You see Fabian Ruiz dropping in at the minute. And just wondering, Saliba getting dragged over, Mosquera getting dragged down, all towards this bottom side of the pitch. How Arsenal deal with that, how PSG exploit it.
Saint-Germain patiently trying to pick the lock. Desiree Doué slipped in towards Kvaratskhelia. It nearly came for him, and he might still, but somehow Gabriel managed to reach out and hook it away from him.
Really tight defending. Looks like a desperate lunge. The way that the fortune fell for Arsenal with the goal just fell for them there. Just stopped Kvaratskhelia.
Dembele. Fabian Ruiz is free here. It was always just swerving away from him.
I just feel Arsenal need to take a breath now. It's been a whirlwind opening first 10 minutes, and just to set themselves, set the game. It's now their game. This is how they wanted it.
And I remember in the second leg of last season's semi-final between these two, Arsenal created 3 big chances in the first 10 minutes in Paris, but didn't take one. PSG beat them home and away in that semi-final. Arsenal will know in the backs of their minds that Paris Saint-Germain will create opportunities at some stage. But Paris Saint-Germain know that there's probably no team in Europe against which it's more difficult to create opportunities. Doué trying his luck on this left-hand side. Good movement from Fabian Ruiz. He's drilled it into an area where there was no support. And like him, really, because he's the kind of player who would usually get his head up and see the bigger picture.
Yeah, poor choice. Really good run. That was the space they're looking to exploit, in behind Mosquera. And then there's no one in shot. No one within sight. Better off holding it up, turning, coming back, and just going again. Yes, you lose that opportunity, but frustration for Luis Enrique, frustration from his teammates.
Time for Marquinhos. Fabian Ruiz. intentions.
Well, they'd gone as well. Saka knew that they were a little bit exposed. Mosquera had gone in tight. Saliba had gone in tight just for a moment there. It looked like Nuno Mendes was through.
Saint-Germain going back to go forward to try to draw Arsenal out of their shell.
Mendes drifting all the way over this side with Kvaratskhelia. It's a 3v2 over here down the bottom of your screen. You just can't get the ball there right now. Arsenal doing a containing job.
Havertz rather got in Gabriel's way there. Louis Skelly didn't get the ball. Paris Saint-Germain pointing out to the referee that these infringements are topping up against Arsenal. Coutinho will set the gear in which Paris Saint-Germain play. He'll change the gear from time to time. Change the point of the direction of the attack. Seems to be preaching caution. Hakimi on that side and Nuno Mendes on this side will provide width. Marquinhos has found Hakimi. It's well cut out by Nkapie at the expense of another corner kick to Paris Saint-Germain.
So they're one at the back, three in midfield that are holding, and then the rest go high. Look at the two fullbacks, more traditional to create the width.
Saka has two opportunities to clear. The ball did kind of rear up and maybe strike his arm. Certainly nothing intentional about it. He was trying to clear his lines.
It was unconvincing, wasn't it, from Saka? It's a poor corner, and I think it caught him by surprise that he even reached him.
Fabian Ruiz has been run off the ball by Nkapie. And here's an opportunity for Odegaard to try to play Trossard in. It's a good intervention that by Mosquera. He followed the play and won it.
This was it. And it came off him onto the arm, and I think that's the bit of mitigation in there that lets him off. It's your body and then the arm. If it's unintentional, tend to get away with it.
A huge question mark has been asked of Paris Saint-Germain. They've found answers to every question in the last 2 seasons. He played 50-odd times for PSG as a young Barcelona player on loan for 18 months from the start of 2001. Mikel Arteta's first year away from his home country. Mauricio Pochettino was a mentor at the club. It's not his first reunion, but still triggers happy memories for the Arsenal coach. Doué finding Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha. Dembele was drifted wide. Skalia's drifted into the box. That little backheel return pass there, which he got wrong. Trossard, though, hasn't cleared his lines. Fabian Ruiz. Vitinha. Doué. Getting some good help there from Saka. He'll need it. But if he thought he was going to have an evening solely in the company of Kvaratskhelia, who's already had an insight into the fluency and fluidity in Paris Saint-Germain's attacking play.
Yeah, well, this is it that Arsenal are having to face. They've virtually vacated the centre of the pitch now, PSG, because they know Arsenal is so narrow. They're going to keep on pressing. This is where Arsenal have got to be brave. You've got to be brave defending, but balls like this up to Bukayo Saka have got to stick, or you have to play through PSG, and therein is the risk.
We haven't seen that from Arsenal so far. David Raya has gone long.
It does make it a long afternoon if you are just going to go long. You might get the odd occasion where Kai Havertz does what he does, but it becomes more and more a case of attrition and concentration.
The risk and reward which underpins so much of this wonderful game. How much are you prepared to bet? Dembele. Kiwi. It's an Arsenal throw.
Was another opportunity for a first-time cross, and there's no one in the middle for PSG. There isn't a centre forward because Dembele's drifting. If you're going to have your wide men wide, you've got to have someone in the middle.
Arsenal have led now for going on 15 minutes. And Gabriel have played 24 Champions League games together for Arsenal. 14 times they've kept the opposition out, conceded just 12 goals in those 24 previous games. What a combination that is. How deep Dembele is here. Marquinhos. It's a straight pass and it's difficult to weight that properly. He overhit it completely. Gave Hakimi no chance.
One of the best in the world at it. It's just failed, and therein lies how it is so hard. And Mikel Arteta and Arsenal will be thrilled with the signs that they're seeing. The passes, the searching passes they're having to make, the breaking the lines along. That then lies a problem for PSG, that they have to be perfect. The percentages are so small.
Nobody's completed more passes in the Champions League this season than the Paris Saint-Germain number 17, Vitinha. Couldn't complete that one. This is Miles Lewis-Skelly. That was an excellent pass. Havertz to Trossard. Havertz once more. And Capier keeps it in. This time the decision goes against Arsenal.
Nearly got away with it. Nearly.
Trossard going back to David Raya. David Raya going as far away from his goal as he possibly can. Desiree Doué. Vitinha. Saliba didn't deal with it. This is Dembele just helping it on to Kvaratskhelia. Another little circus trick which didn't quite come off for Kvaratskhelia. Just about everything does come off for him usually.
He's having to try the unconventional because he's on his own.
Looks like we're going to get a refreshment break. Get used to these in the summer. And an opportunity with a quarter of the final gone for Mikel Arteta to take stock, and he'll really appreciate this chance just to reassess the situation, because deep down even he might be a little surprised to be one up so soon in the game.
Well, I don't think anything changes for Arsenal, does it? I think you're looking at it saying, brilliant, we've now got a long time to lose this game, but Luis Enrique is more pressing. He's got his team in a huddle. He's got him on the end of his hand, really, saying we've got to exploit something. We've got to find a different way. Stroke of fortune you sometimes need in a final. That moment, thinking Kai Havertz was looking for options elsewhere, looking to go square, and then he reached the point where he thought, oh, to hell with it. This is the point of no return, just the laces through it, and wow. Something I'm not sure even they were expecting.
He's never lacked for confidence or technique. Arsene Wenger, the most successful of all Arsenal managers, once famously said the Champions League football is the highest level of the game, higher even than the World Cup. Well, the start of a wonderful World Cup summer. Welcome to the biggest game in the club world of football. And if last year's Paris fashion show is anything to go by, it is just maybe the highest level at which you will see this sport played. PSG won a semi-final that might be the best game of football I've ever seen, but only for the right to play in this game. PSG Bayern was just the qualifier. They knew Arsenal would be different, and Arsenal have not disappointed them. Mosquera's throw. Nuno Mendes. Havertz doing well just to turn it into the path of Saka. Out of shot, Luis Enrique's pointing at his wrist, just drawing the referee's attention to the time that Arsenal are taking over the restarts.
Yeah, and he's not on his own. PSG players all remonstrating. Daniel Siebert saying, look, this is eating into our time. This is killing the rhythm of a game.
Lewis Skelly finding some rhythm. Really good surge. Ødegaard to Saka. First chance really to run at Nuno Mendes. And he's found a cross, and Trossard's there. It almost came for Havertz again. Hakimi reacted quick as Safanov was caught there and is down. And the referee must stop the game with a goalkeeper in peril. But Leandro Trossard, just for a moment, looked as if he got to the front of the queue for this cross.
Now really brave from Safanov. Look how far he is. He's having to travel 8 yards to get there. Just to get that touch on it. He knows Trossard's getting in. He knows that Saka had beaten Nuno Mendes on the outside, and he's trying to read that danger. He's trying to read all sorts at the minute, trying to find an answer.
He is a courageous keeper. We saw that in the semi-final. Made some good stops at Lens in the French title clincher a couple of weeks ago. His understudy here is an international, Lucas Chevalier, who was actually bought last summer to replace Donnarumma and was PSG's first choice keeper for the first half of the season. But he hasn't played since January the 23rd. He lost his place at the end of November to Safanov. He then suffered a hand injury which ushered Chevalier back into the team, but the moment that Safanov was fit again, Luis Enrique dropped Chevalier and reinstated the Russian.
That distance you have to travel to get there. We saw him do that against Bayern. It was more Marquinhos, I think, than Trossard. I've got the feeling that he should be okay to carry on, but again, this does nullify the tempo of the game. It does make it a bit more stagnated.
And Paris Saint-Germain are all about tempo. They're all about trying to play the game with a rhythm. There is Arsene Wenger in some very esteemed company in the VIP box. Came within 15 minutes of bringing the Champions League trophy to Arsenal 20 years ago. They led into the last quarter of an hour of that final, and with 10 men against Barcelona. But Barcelona denied them with a very late winner. And it's taken Arsenal a long, long time to get back to within touching distance of the famous trophy. So Safanov, apart from his hair, is absolutely fine. And I'm sure that will be rectified pretty quickly.
Not with his gloves on.
It's not easy, is it?
I would never know.
Arsenal have won 5 games in a row coming into this final. The last last 4 by 1-goal margins. They toughed out 1-0 wins against Atletico and West Ham and Burnley over the 2-week period when they needed the most in their modern history to win the English title and give themselves a shot at this European title. They found a way, their way, and just refused to be beaten, refused to be denied. Unbeaten in this competition.
Well, we were saying before the game, Clive, weren't we? If you think it's going to be a classic, then you think it's PSG's game. If you think it's going to be stodgy and not much in it, it's going to be Arsenal's game. Well, it's certainly been the latter so far.
I said it right at the start. Who can play the final the way they want to play it? Nuno Mendes. It's beautifully delivered into the path of Dembele. He's got Hakimi at his shoulder and plenty of support. Hakimi will have to cross it. Dembele's back on it. The red wall has been rebuilt. Dembele again. It's just a hopeful cross, really. Gabriel deals with it pretty comfortably.
See how narrow Arsenal are. Just almost inviting.
Nuno Mendes is down. He had a collision with Gabriel. Paris Saint-Germain can stop the game if they wish, and I think the referee's mindful of that. They're not. It's almost as if they don't quite believe their teammate here. He's still down. Dembele. João Neves. Play back to Doué. Gabriel did just enough again. Mendes still prostrate. Who needs enemies with friends like these?
He's looking round at his teammates saying, I'm in trouble, you've got to kick it off. And eventually, the captain does so. Again, it was Gabriel. Again, it was Arsenal just being narrow bodies in the way. They've got to get in front of the goal at some point. An innocuous clash of ankles, and Gabriel got up and get back down again to make that block.
He's made a couple of late, desperate, but desperately good interventions inside that penalty area. Gabriel Magalhaes. Nuno Mendes is playing for the first time in 24 days since the semi-final. He's been nursing a tight hamstring through the spring, but that wasn't the problem there. He's back on his station at left back. Arsenal are within 15 minutes or so of the next staging point in their bid to win their first European title. Nuno Mendes forward. Raya is committed. It's a race he had to win.
Yeah, had to get that right. Judged it well. They knew the team. They knew the runner. Fabian Ruiz, his international compatriot.
Glimpses of daylight in that smothering cover. Ousmane Dembele. Lofted into Hakimi. Desiré Doué. Back to Marquinhos. Is cast, I think.
Yeah. Well, it sounds obvious. It sounds old school, but they do have to get it in front of the goal at some point, and Arsenal do know that, and they can say, if we can just put our best players, our bodies in the way. Declan Rice is just loitering around the ref, knowing if I stand here, they've got to get it by me at some point.
Dembele. Kvaratskhelia. Hakimi. Dembele. And that is just a tame chip into the hands of David Raya after all that. And Paris Saint-Germain's football is as frustrated as the look on the face of their coach. Hakimi. Doué. Corner kick.
It's frustration for PSG. Just got to think that they're almost having better a centre forward there to occupy the centre halves to keep them narrow so they can't drift.
Nuno Mendes. It's a strange one with Pacho, almost as if he got a call there to get out of the way. Saw the ball drift across his eye line and pulled his head back. Probably the tallest man in the box. Just barges him over, and that's a cheap free kick to give away against a team that are so practiced at set pieces.
Real frustration from Nuno Mendes at PSG and a real opportunity for Arsenal. Saka knew exactly what he wanted in this situation. Nuno Mendes gave it to him straight away. He had no options. Once that pass didn't have enough weight on it, he was waiting for the challenge just to ride it. You got the likes of Saliba and Gabriel arriving at the far post, and man-to-man Arsenal are almost taller than every PSG player. Another real opportunity way beyond the far post for Arsenal.
Three of the back four in there along with Havertz, 4 6-footers at the end of that line. By Gabriel. It's a free kick been given in Paris Saint-Germain's favour. I think it was Havertz who came charging in behind everybody. Fabian Ruiz is in the wars.
It wasn't best of free kicks, and it was Havertz with the push and the insult into injury for Fabian Ruiz.
Got back to him and won it fairly. Now Arsenal a little exposed. Vitinha, 2 for company. One of them is Dembele. Ousmane Dembele, fantastic blocking challenge. Saliba put his body on the line there. For Gabriel it was. Marquinhos has won it, but only for Trossard. Doué has won it back again. Good strong play by Desiré Doué. Eventually, Odegaard is able to hack the ball away from him.
They're just desperate to stop him by any means possible. Arsenal desperate to slow the game down.
Saliba. Stepping up skillfully. Linking with Kai Havertz. He turns into trouble, but manages to offload to Piero Hincapié. Now, Leandro Trossard. Arsenal are showing just enough adventure at times to keep Paris Saint-Germain honest.
There's a nervousness to it, isn't it? Every pass is cheered by the Arsenal fans away to our left.
Capier won't kick that one in. It's a limited and occasional threat, but there is a certain amount of menace when they counter. Gabriel has had an outstanding half so far. He missed last year's semi-finals against Paris Saint-Germain through injury. He's made some wonderful blocks and challenges.
Peter Schmeichel said it before the game. Arsenal have to play defensively the perfect game. At the moment, 38 minutes in, they're ticking that box.
Achraf Hakimi. João Neves. Vitinha. Bit of arm waving and pointing going on off the ball. One or two Paris Saint-Germain players not quite on the same wavelength as each other. Hakimi. He's found a cross over the head of Dembele. Mosquera didn't really deal with it. Kvaratskhelia. Nuno Mendes. Dembele couldn't improvise. Headed away yet again by Gabriel. Hakimi a little too anxious to get on with it.
They knew what Havertz was going to do. He was desperate to get the ball back on the pitch. There's multi-ball around the pitch. He can grab any ball from anywhere to get the game going again. If he just got this ball back on the pitch, they have to stop it.
I've got Paddy Pimblett in the Beckham and Friends studio. He might have been quite pleased with that one. We check out David and his guests on Paramount Plus.
You think Paddy will come up against sterner opposition than that?
I had my photograph taken with him earlier and sent it to my son, who's a big fan, and I was leaning on Paddy's shoulder, and my son pointed out that that's not a wise thing to do, Dad.
You live to tell the tale.
Beckham and Friends on Paramount Plus. Picking out João Neves. It was awkward. Controlled it on the chest, but he couldn't advance. Nuno Mendes might. Early in towards Dembele. Gabriel did just about enough, but it has come for Hakimi, and that was... He was caught about three different minds there. Strangely indecisive from Achraf Hakimi. Ødegaard goes down, nothing doing. João Neves. Critical from Arsenal's point of view that they get to the break with their lead intact. Capier defending his flank manfully.
PSG have to create this opening out wide. They have to get combinations out wide. You can see the three of them at the top of the screen together. They've got to create a combination, a little triangle in there to get a runner in behind. And from there, you're saying, can he make the cutback? It's a bit Pep Guardiola, old school from Manchester City and Barcelona. That's the option, because going centrally, it's just too congested.
Nuno Mendes. Fabian Ruiz. Marquinhos. Hakimi. João Neves. Back to Vitinha. Kvaratskhelia has come deep. Again, unable to work any space. Nuno Mendes. I was cooked on Mosquera here and found a cross, and his heading goal was by Fabian Ruiz. It was rather anxious defending, an improvised clearance just about did the job.
Capier with the instincts, wasn't it? Mosquera for the first time has a slip. Wondering whether Kvaratskhelia would get round the outside of him. See them arriving at the far post. This time it was Nuno Mendes. Just that instinct, just to be in the right spot at the right time. That's what helped for Capier, just to be round. Frustration all round.
I mean, both the Arsenal fullbacks are centre-backs really by trade, as indeed is Ricardo Calafiori, as indeed is Jurriën Timber. It seems that Mikel Arteta's made a conscious effort to defend his flanks with men who have the instincts to defend their penalty areas.
Players that can open you up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and listen, to the champions of Europe for a reason, Darren. They've got world-class players all over the pitch and they won't go away. They've got a manager that's minutes away from probably giving them a team talk to try and give them different answers in the final third, but from an Arsenal point of view, you've got to be diligent right till the end.
Kvaratskhelia has done very little so far in this Champions League final. Here's Vitinha. Now Dembele. João Neves, Ousmane Dembele, foot in from Lewis Skelly. And then Gabriel involved again. They've got such a desire, Ali, to get to the ball, haven't they, Arsenal, defensively?
Yep, they've been excellent. But again, the timings of the tackles are so important. They've got to be absolutely spot on.
Desiree Doué. Marquinhos, Vitinha. Doué with the shot. Just opened up for him a little bit, didn't it?
It did, but that's what Arsenal wants. Shots from distance. You know, Arsenal have been superb in the critical moments when they get closer inside the box. I think David Raya will be delighted with 25-yard efforts, especially when they're on the weak foot.
Yeah, spot on there. We saw that challenge in Cape again, and it was a good one on Neves. Had to be. I mentioned the timing again, spot on.
On the subject of David Raya, 67 clean sheets over the last 3 seasons for Arsenal, which is a quite phenomenal record when you think about it. He's been as important as anybody in this. It's turning into a wonderful season for Arsenal. Here's the hero, Havertz, supported by Mosquera. Saka lets it run, Havertz in behind. Big moment this! Really good challenge by Marquinhos. That's the captain's challenge for Paris Saint-Germain.
What a move. Move of the game. Really is. He starts it and nearly finishes it.
Almost.
Saka involved. Look forward to seeing that again. I'm wondering, could he have hit it a split second earlier? It's a great challenge, but could he have prevented the defender getting across to make the challenge?
Halfway through the additional 6 minutes. There's Kvaratskhelia. Saka's not too far away. Vitinha. Now Dembele. Puts it through here towards Hakimi. The last touch was a Trossard touch. That's a PSG corner.
He just switches off again. He does well to get back and make the challenge, but if the ball had gone a split second earlier, he was in trouble.
So Dembele now to take the corner. That's gone nowhere near the PSG players who are in the middle. Vitinha. Now Fabian Ruiz. It's only really Marquinhos in the middle, and he's just spilled that, Raya.
I think it's the centre-half that goes down, Marquinhos. I think he's probably lucky he does. You see him in front, he's got a challenge with Gabriel.
He's had a go there, Coach.
Yeah. Don't want too many of them coming off your goalkeeper.
So what does Mikel Arteta's half-time team talk look like with the game as it stands at the moment, Stephen?
I think he'll be saying to his team from a defensive point of view very much the same. He'll praise them. They've been absolutely outstanding defensively and out of possession. He'll be reminding them, Dan, as you said in the commentary, about staying focused, being diligent all the way to the end, and to keep throwing punches themselves. You know, in transition on counter-attacks, they've got in a couple of times, they've scored one. You know, Marquinhos has had to make a latch-this tackle, so keep throwing punches yourself, and also be ready for some changes, because if it's like this after 60 minutes, Ali will tell you, you need to try and change the game from the side.
He's got the likes of Bradley Barcola, Gonzalo Ramos, Warren Zaire-Emery, players who can come on and impact the game in an attacking sense. It's a huge 15 minutes coming up from Luis Enrique's perspective, because he's got to try and ignite this Paris Saint-Germain team, who have been completely snuffed out by Arsenal in this first half. And they've got a set piece to defend here, a Declan Rice long throw-in, with what's sure to be the last attack of the half. What a time this would be for Arsenal to get a second in for right on the stroke of half-time. I've not seen that very often, Coach D.
No, he's done well, Havertz, hasn't he? He's been put himself about, Stephen.
I think it's body language as well, celebrating that you've achieved a corner, knowing how good you are at corners.
Well, they've scored 27 goals from corners, but they're not going to get time to take it. He's blown the half-time whistle before Saka can take the corner.
That's madness.
Well, you don't see that very often. So the boos from the Arsenal supporters, but Daniel Siebert says that's enough. But it's been a fantastic first half for Arsenal. The goal scored by Kai Havertz after 6 minutes. He got in behind.
And let's play the game. What was that, man? Getting at the corner quick. So the whistle. I think Arsenal run. Guys think.
Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. I'm Peter Drury and this is Jim Beglin.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Drury, and hello to everyone.
Well, there is here a great sense of expectation as to universal contentment. The Emirates embraces Arsenal once more. Well, there are plenty looking forward to seeing this, a capacity crowd here.
Well, I wouldn't just look at this being another friendly, Peter.
Is that your own experience?
Yeah, if the opposition played like they meant business, we were obliged to return the favour. I don't think there's much difference here.
We're up and running then. Now it's Kvaratskhelia. Dembele showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but Kvaratskhelia!
Oh.
And he has produced there the crispest of hits.
Oh.
Well, he looks like he's annoyed with himself there. He didn't do an awful lot wrong, did he?
Norgard. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
Yeah, Marquinhos, he's one of the toughest and most competitive centre-backs in the business. He's the kind of player you can rely on to always be just where you need him, making a vital interception or just making life difficult for the opposition to get through. And that's a very valuable characteristic.
I wonder whether that has anything to do with you being a defender once upon a time, Jim. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Goes looking wide. He is through here. Closing in on goal. Nkapie did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. Now, can they get him away? Oh, that looks a good ball through. Oh, he's having a shot!
Wow.
Goal! Paris Saint-Germain!
And
And Paris Saint-Germain take the lead. And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
Just way too good, Peter. The keeper was never going to stop it.
Paris Saint-Germain have taken the lead.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier game. Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
And it's Ruiz. The ball is loose and the chase is on. He's picked his way through. Kepa gets his hands on it and the danger is averted.
Well, it's not the best when it comes to decision-making. OK, initially he probably was afforded the space to hold on to it, but the longer he did that, the more he was going to be swamped.
He's a sharp little ball here. Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Now it's Gabriel Jesus. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Now that looks a decent ball. Goes for a shot! He's got a goal! Arsenal are level. So smooth. A signature finish.
Well, we could be a little critical of that defence then, but the timing was pretty much perfect.
After 32 minutes is...
So they have it all to do again.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
And here's Kvaratskhelia. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Just eases him off the ball. Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Zaire Emery. Barcola. Barcola makes a move down the right. That's tidy. Threads one in. Zaire Emery has it out wide and in space. Well timed, excellent interception.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
There's the shot! Deftly away. Kvaratskhelia. He's got away. And the shot! It's in! A truly wonderful strike, decorated with dip and curl.
Oh, what a hit, Peter, and there was nothing lucky about it, let me tell you. It was measured, it was simply inch perfect.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for. Norgard, that's an imaginative pass. Oh, he's managed to get himself offside.
Side it is.
And the referee has signalled for half-time. So, engaging and still right on edge. Plenty of signs to suggest this will turn out to be a really good one.
Hello attendees, this
Neither
is
side holding back here. It has been quite a half, this.
Well, it's a lead that's by no means convincing. The manager can't go too easy on his players here. I think they need to re-establish that focus and try to lift the purpose again. They'll want a good start to the second half.
Oh, that just about sorts out the first 45 minutes, and we'll be back with the second very soon. And hostilities have resumed at the start of the second half.
Arsenal really need to bring up their intensity and rhythm a notch or two, Peter. Just looked a step too slow on everything.
Now it's Gabriel Jesus. Opportunity for Arsenal to break. Martinelli. Oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Martinelli was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Martinelli. He's got plenty of space out wide here. Beraldo. Sabani. Zaire Emery. Well, they are still trailing, and they require a change of fortune pretty sharpish. Marquinhos, who's set up one goal so far, aimed beyond the defence. It's Dembele! He has hit that forcefully.
Well, the keeper looks perplexed. That was hit with real ferocity.
Madueke pops him off it and wins back the ball. Now it's Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha. It's a really well-measured ball. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Well, that pass isn't the best. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. Tries to pass it through. Driven in. Mosquera tries to clear. And here's Barcola. Knocks it into space. Plays it across. That is lovely. Clipped into space. Great chance! In he goes again! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay.
That's great industry from the front line there. A lot of chasing, a lot of pressure, and they forced the error. Right here, right now, it's not looking favourable. They're chasing the ball and the game.
And no, that was never going to make it. Vitinha. Well, that's beautifully weighted. Incapuyi. And it's Zubimendi. Zubimendi carries the ball down the right. Fabian Ruiz. Oh, sweet feet. It's a promising position. Oh, he's trying to skip past his man. Fabian Ruiz plays it in.
Paris Saint-Germain surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
In progress.
So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while. Havertz getting the call here in what can be interpreted as a clear show of intent.
Well, it's going to make for a frantic end, Peter. Let's hope he's got enough time to make the impact he wants.
Coming on the field, number 29.
That has ended up in no man's land.
Number 2.
Ball's gone out of play.
Number 41, Rice.
Norgard, and it's Rice. Challenge just a bit on the firm side. Referee has just said play on. Mbaye. And Zaire Emery. The final moments of a game that has been pretty compelling overall.
Well, I suppose they need something to break their way, Peter. Anything at this late stage.
Hakimi. Doué. He's shifting through the gears here. Dembele. Great ball, and he tries a shot! It's in! And surely that does it! Perfect time, decisive strike! Well, was he ever going to miss that? Of course he wasn't.
And his manager couldn't look happier. That's the kind of interplay they've been working on in training, and it came off beautifully.
Paris Saint-Germain now in a position far more desirable.
Well, that's pretty much sealed it now, and surely, Peter, we're not going to see any complacency after that.
Vitinha, and it's Doué. And the pass is intercepted.
2 minutes has been indicated.
Confirmation that there will be 2 minutes stoppage time. Well seen, saw that coming. Now it's Doué.
A lot of space here, a real opportunity.
And there goes the final whistle. A performance of perspiration, work rate, grit, and those are very good qualities that might have got them something on another day. Sadly, not today. Your final thoughts, Jim?
Arsenal desperately failing to impose themselves on the game. Decidedly.
For this match.
Here.
Being harassed by Hincapie, who wasn't going to give him any opportunity to turn. This is Vitinha. It's a good run from him, but Declan Rice came over. Good acceleration though from Nuno Mendes, important foot in then from William Saliba. That's no foul on Havertz by Pacho, so PSG can come again with Fabian Ruiz. Here's Desiree Doué, Declan Rice with work to do. Doué with the cross, it's far too deep for everybody, and swings behind for an Arsenal goal kick.
Just get in slightly again on that right-hand side, didn't they? Just barely get his body in between the ball and the defender, but again, no serious threat on the goal.
Launched up towards Bukayo Saka, he's offside.
Interesting, Dembele's just peeling out to this right side. He doesn't really want to play as a 9. Doué's playing a little bit more central now.
Arsenal have substitutes warming up, but maybe surprisingly at the moment, none of the PSG replacements are out there. They're all sat on the bench. Vitinha, Kvaratskhelia. Now Dembele. It's good defending by Hincapie, who's not put a foot wrong really at left back tonight. Hakimi. Oh, they'll get the free kick, Paris Saint-Germain, but it looks soft to me, that.
Yeah, just puts his body in between the ball and the defender.
Fabian Ruiz. Ousmane Dembele. Straight at Leandro Trossard, and applause down there from Mikel Arteta, who must be so proud of his players to this point, Ali.
Oh yeah, it'll be his game plan It's been executed so far to perfection. He's given a foul throw.
He has.
You don't normally see that at boys' level.
It's not a bad header from Safanov, you know.
Only 80 yards.
And the flick from Havertz only finds Marquinhos. I must say, though, not a great deal has changed from first half to second half, despite whatever instructions and encouragement Enrique would have given at half-time. It's still Arsenal with a nice shape and defending stoutly. Kvaratskhelia doubled up on him brilliantly over there, haven't they, Saka and Mosquera?
All areas of the pitch, down, particularly in the full-back position, yes.
There's Dembele to go at Hincapié. João Neves just found himself a bit of room, but then he couldn't pick out the right pass to Nuno Mendes. Doué looking to win it back. In went Saka. And he followed through there on Doué. I think they're just asking the question how high the challenge is. It's a yellow card. It's a painful one for Desiré Doué.
Yeah, I think he gets over it. His natural momentum takes him over it, does it?
He's bounced off the ball, hasn't he?
I think he's a little bit unlucky, to be honest.
I don't think that's a foul in the Premier League, Ali.
No,
I just think as soon as you show your studs in Europe, the referees can't wait to blow up. Harsh on Arsenal.
Yeah, Luis Enrique's got his subs warming up now, hasn't he? Yeah. A little bit surprised not seeing them out.
Yeah, Bradley Barcola is one of them. Warren Zaire-Emery down there as well. Long way out this. Nuno Mendes, Achraf Hakimi over the ball. Hakimi hits it, just pitched in front of David Raya, which can sometimes make it awkward, but he held on to it well.
He certainly did, and he had to with Dembele moving in.
Havertz was trying to use his body. Referee happy there was nothing untoward.
See, I actually don't mind that from Havertz again. I really don't mind it.
This is rare space on that side for Kvaratskhelia. Arsenal quickly get the double cover on his Doué. Marquinhos. João Neves, Hakimi. Everybody back in this solid defensive, unbreakable shape for Arsenal. Doué. Kvaratskhelia finding Mendes, little drag back from the Portuguese. Can't recall a time, Ali, where they've looked so out of sync in the final third, PSG, which is directly down to Arsenal, I know, but it's just so out of character for them.
It is. It's a major surprise, but a pleasant one.
Kvaratskhelia to take on Bukayo Saka, get to the byline, deliver the cross. Not too high for everybody again. The crossing's not been great at all, has it, from a PSG perspective? Hakimi's won it back from Trossard. Here's Fabian Ruiz. That's a great recovery, though, from Trossard to get back in the right position to win it back for Arsenal. Pacho got a bang from Havertz. Arsenal fans unhappy.
They've just made it a little bit obvious here, didn't they? The one thing I would say, I nearly said it looks as though they're running out of ideas. It actually looks as though they've not had any ideas, never mind run out of them. Goalkeeper takes it well. Thankfully no touch from Havertz there on the way through.
Just picking up on your point, Ali, there's also not been that moment of individual brilliance from a Doué or a Kvaratskhelia to just change the balance of things out there. The Arsenal defenders have won their individual battles, the duels that Stephen spoke about earlier, brilliantly all night, haven't they?
100%. They've defended as a gang as well in numbers.
Every tick of the clock is a positive one for Arsenal. They've safely navigated 13 minutes of the second half without any untoward concern. That's a lovely pass from Kvaratskhelia, and the free kick's going to go against Nuno Mendes.
Well, the one thing I would say when an hour gone, it might be the best I've seen Saka defensively.
Yeah, I think he gets a lot of credit going the other way. His crossing, his 1v1, his combination play, his goal scoring ability, but he's been absolutely immense out of possession today. Very selfless job for the team.
Great noise coming from the Arsenal supporters who are behind Safanov's goal inside the Puskás Arena, which is in large parts red and white. And at the moment the Gunners fans in celebratory mood. There's still work to do. Half an hour of the Champions League final still left to play. And the early Kai Havertz goal still the difference between these two teams. Ousmane Dembele, brilliant front foot defending from Nkapie again. In goes Declan Rice, fantastic from him. João Neves, then it was Bukayo Saka, penalised for the foul, but the Arsenal commitment is brilliant.
Yeah, you know something? I think it actually was a foul, but that's taking nothing away from the work rate. First from Rice and then from Saka to come across. Yeah, he just comes across, uses his body.
Played forward by Marquinhos. That's a good ball to Doué. Nkapie's got to get back. Important defending done in there by Arsenal once more. That was a rare bit of space on this side, though, for Doué. Now João Neves, on it goes to Kvaratskhelia, up against Mosquera. Brilliant defending from him. Corner to Paris Saint-Germain.
He's defended well. I know, I must admit, I thought Timber was fit, he plays, clearly wasn't. Still a long way to go, half an hour, but defensively have been really sound.
The scars of battle, in goes the corner. David Raya with a punch. Desiré Doué. Kvaratskhelia to Dembele, then back in. Oh, he's gone over, he's given the penalty. He's given the penalty. It's the first mistake all night from Mosquera. Just got the wrong side. The interesting aspect now is if he shows him a second yellow card for the foul as well.
Well,
I mean, that could be a double whammy here.
We'll discuss that if and when I'll tell you what I will say to you.
He was bleeding,
It's
man.
a tremendous give and go. I mean, as
Bleeding.
1-2s go, it's as sharp as attack. I mean, Mosquera's he's a little bit unlucky. He does react. Watch this for pace. The way he goes. And do you know what he does? He's really, really clever because he puts his body in front, knowing that if there's a challenge from behind there, he's going to get the free kick.
It's being looked at, as they always are, by Bastian Danker, the video assistant referee.
Catches his right leg, I think. We'll get another look at it, but I think he catches his right calf.
I think he comes through the back of him. He kicks his calf and comes through the back of him. You'd asked at half-time why there probably hasn't been any changes at half-time, Darren, because his best players are on the pitch, and he knows that they're capable of, you know, lifting the tempo, lifting the quality. And there's the little bit of magic moment you spoke about just earlier, and it's come from Kvaratskhelia. The speed, the thought, and the combination play. Ali's bang on the money. It's difficult to stop. It's only the second time over the course of the game they've got in down the side, and it's been on Mosquera's side.
Let me just make the point, the penalty hasn't been confirmed yet.
But
it has been now.
It's going.
Do you know something? I looked at Kvaratskhelia, and he was convinced. Lads, and I thought right away, you know what it's like, normally the player knows. I didn't think he had any doubt.
He's just clever. He just gets his body and his legs in between the opponent and the ball, knowing that the momentum of the defender's got to go through him. It's brilliant play, Darren.
With his leg from the back.
It's an opportunity now for Paris Saint-Germain, the European champions, to drag themselves
Clever,
back into this Champions League final. And the penalty will be taken at the end, where the Paris Saint-Germain supporters are behind David Raya's goal. It's not a foregone conclusion, this. Paris Saint-Germain were given 5 penalties on their way to the final, but they missed 3 of them. So they've not been automatic from the spot in the Champions League by any stretch of the imagination. And in David Raya, you've got one of the best in the business. So the ball, with the Paris Saint-Germain fans looking on, has been handed to Ousmane Dembele.
Let the game be interesting.
What a big moment in the Champions League final.
So
Dembele versus Raya.
Right.
Brilliant penalty. Absolutely nothing Raya could do. The flares go off behind the goal. Arsenal's lead is gone. And the European champions are back in it. Paris Saint-Germain won. Arsenal won.
He was never in any doubt, was he? You could tell in the run-up, full of confidence, send the goalkeeper the wrong way. Absolutely no chance the goalkeeper. You've got to have a great degree of sympathy for Arsenal at this moment in time, because they have defended exceptionally well for an hour. But you switch off for a split second, penalty's perfect.
Interesting, Timber's getting warmed up, so they've noticed that, you know, PSG is starting to get a bit of success down that right side, so I think it's important now to get fresh legs there, fresh energy.
So Timber ready, Victor Gyökeres is ready as well. So Mosquera, having given away the penalty, is replaced by Jurrien Timber, and we're going to see Victor Gyökeres as well.
Really tough moment for him, getting substituted after the penalty. He hasn't done much wrong. He's kept arguably the best player, the best winger in the world, quiet for the majority of the game.
I think you're right, Stephen, but from the forwards point of view, unbelievably clever. He plays it really, really quickly, and then concentrates and getting his body between the ball and the player, and knows inevitably it might be a penalty, you know.
Gyökeres is coming on for the Arsenal captain, Martin Ødegaard, which you presume will mean that Havertz will just drop in and play as a number 10. The fact that PSG have scored tonight means they've scored 45 goals in the Champions League this season, which equals Barcelona's single-season record that they set in the season 99-2000, and ironically Luis Enrique scored 6 for them in that season. So they have been this goal-scoring machine. It's 128 now that they've got in all competitions, and the man who won the Ballon d'Or last season, Dembele, deadly from the spot.
Now it will be interesting, guys. Now it will be interesting.
I think from Arsenal as well, it's that kick-off again where they just boot it in the air.
sides.
Only goes to Kai Havertz, cleared away. It's going to be fascinating now in the next 10 or 15 minutes to see how the balance of the match has been affected by the PSG equaliser. There's 24 minutes to play.
I think it's important Arsenal don't panic here.
I don't think Arsenal will win.
They don't all of a sudden have to go gung-ho and chase and have a really high line because PSG is so dangerous at exploiting that. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I'll tell you what's a mad statistic, Ali. Dembele scored 55 goals over the past 2 seasons, and he scored 43 of them after Christmas. He's hopeless before he opens his presents.
Good on both sides.
He scored a gigantic goal for them for the penalty spot tonight to
Guys,
get
if
them
you
back
want
in it after
to
that
watch the game,
misjudgment from Mosquera on
there's a link in the
Kvaratskhelia.
comment.
And the offside flag up here against Arsenal.
Like the sauce. Live.
You can look at it another way, you know, lads, as well. Because I think prior to this game kicked off, if somebody said to the Arsenal supporters and Mikel Arteta it had been a draw with 20 minutes to go, I think they might just have taken it, you know.
Yeah, I agree, Ali. That's why I'm saying there's no need to panic and all of a sudden change everything that's been going so well. Stay organised, keep your shape. Difficult to play against, defend diligently, and your moments will come.
4 people are watching, 5 people are watching. Please like the stream, guys.
Gets it back again
Facebook.
from Fabian Ruiz. It's a really big 10 minutes or so for Arsenal now, you know. Here's Hakimi. That's a corner off
Yes, he is
Hincapié.
pressing, guys. Pressing.
I can't believe the number of police officers that are behind David Raya's goal. I'm not quite sure what they're expecting in
5
there.
people are watching. Please like the stream, guys. Who do you think will win? 1-1. Penalty.
Tell you what, whatever they're expecting, they look up for it. They look ready for it.
Dembele goes short to Doué.
Even people watching in the Facebook live, please like the stream. Please like the stream, guys. Like the stream. Follow my page.
Hakimi. Dembele. It's another poor cross.
Yeah.
It's been a feature of their play tonight, Ali.
That's a poor cross.
Most of the deliveries have gone to the back post. That one was too much on it again.
But when people are watching, please like the stream and subscribe and
The
follow
iconic
my
Masters
channel.
football
Follow
returns to
my
London's Wembley Arena tomorrow
page
with a star-studded
and the
lineup of
place.
legendary names that represented Liverpool, Chelsea, Ajax and Real Madrid. Exclusive live coverage starts at 6:30 on TNT Sports 2 and HBO Max as well. Clinical penalty from Dembele. 186 live games, by the way, the Champions League next season on TNT Sports, the Conference League and the Europa League as well. Every match live on
What the fuck are
TNT
you
Sports
talking
as well.
about, man?
52 live Premier League games as well in comprehensive coverage of the men's and women's FA Cup. Also, the Emmy award-winning House of Dragons returns for season 3 on the 22nd of June on HBO Max, which is also the place to catch up with seasons 1 and 2, plus Game of Thrones and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Then people are watching, please like the stream and follow my page, guys.
Trossard being patched up, the players taking on board some fluids. What do you think Arteta's saying to the Arsenal players down there? Because they've been so good up to the Mosquera.
I've shared the link.
penalty
Comment
dispatched by
section.
Dembele.
Please like my
What's he
stream.
reinforcing down there with the players?
Stay calm. We're doing great. As Ali said, you know, before the ball's kicked, if you're in the game after 70 minutes against the champions of Europe, this is where we want to be. But it's important that they don't change and lose that shape and them distances and
70
what
minutes.
they've been doing so well in the first 3 quarters of the game.
Left.
Spot on. I mean, they've been brilliant for 3/4 of the game. They really have. No need at all to panic.
I'll tell you what is a concern for the rest. Based on average age in the Champions League this season, this Paris Saint-Germain group is the 3rd youngest in the competition, so they're going to be around for a while. This is anybody's final now. Here's Leandro Trossard for Arsenal. Straight at João Neves, picked up now by Vitinha. It's a lovely ball out there to do it.
Wasn't it just outside the left foot? I mean, he should have done better. I thought it was stopping his feet, Stephen. He just managed to scoop it out. Beautiful pass.
He's got all the clubs, hasn't he? Lovely shape on it.
He's got all the clubs. Ali and I have been to them all.
I meant golf clubs, Dan.
Okay. It's not a very good pass by Raya. Straight to Hakimi. On he goes now to Dembele.
Well, he's gonna score.
Gabriel's come across. Got his body in a really good position again, the Brazilian defender.
That's a great defense.
Do you know what? I've been really disappointed with Dembele.
I can't stop laughing. I think I only had a 7-iron in my bag when I played.
I see more
Even
than
people who are watching, please like this.
I think the Rangers fans would disagree
Follow
with
my
that.
page. Dembele is gone.
Just getting back to Dembele, I think outside of the penalty for a Ballon d'Or player, this is his stage. He's been very quiet.
He has been.
And people are watching, please like this.
João Neves, Doué, now Fabian Ruiz into the final 17.5 minutes. Kavicha Kvaratskhelia, first little test out there for the substitute Timber. Coutinho's going to hit this one off the outside of his foot. That was dipping at the end, caught the top of the net.
Yeah. It just dips a little bit too late for him, but goalkeeper's got it covered, hasn't he? Pretty comfortable for him. Just a little bit concerning though, in the last 10-15 minutes there seems to be a domination from PSG, which wasn't there in the first half. Arsenal were breaking forward, haven't seen it as much now.
To play the kind of game that Arsenal were playing, Stephen, how taxing is that mentally and physically? The amount of defending they were having
like
to do.
Well, listen, we've seen the work rate to a man.
Here's an opportunity for Havertz against the other side of
Havertz
pressure.
again.
He plays it on here towards Saka.
That
Saka out there quickly, but there's the Arsenal threat. Kai Havertz involved again.
I'm wondering whether that's the manager's
very
information
dangerous.
from the cooling break, you know, making the change with Gyökeres up front. You know, we're going to be a bit more bold from this moment, because they look as if they're a little bit more on the front foot now, that the back line's higher, there's more spaces for PSG.
Yeah, here's Hakimi. He's going to continue to get forward down this right-hand side. Now Doué. Kavicha Kvaratskhelia hasn't played for 3 months. Yuri Timber, who was having a fine season before the injury. Great noise now coming from the Parisians behind David Raya's goal. Hakimi. That's good again from Hincapié.
Let's go, Arsenal. Go.
Trossard spins away from Marquinhos and tries to find space for Arsenal. Tracked all the way by João Neves. Now Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Let's go,
Trossard
Arsenal.
is fouled there by Doué.
Oh.
To go. We've not had a final go to 16 when Real Madrid.
Okay.
We've needed the additional half. Raya long towards Victor Gyökeres. Marquinhos was up early but didn't get a touch on it. William Pacho puts it out for the throw-in. Trossard. Gyökeres. Trossard stabs that little ball into the box. It's away by Pacho. Only back to Trossard once more. Hincapié. Now Timber. Saka. Good block laid
Pass
over there
the
by
ball,
Kvaratskhelia.
motherfucker.
Lewis Skelly heads it on, flicked a bit further by Rice. There's the chance for Timber running in.
Yeah.
Great defended by Pacho. Arsenal's turn to press. Saka, they've got men over here. A brilliant tracking back from Trout.
It's brilliant from Rice initially again.
What about that from Kvaratskhelia to just nick it away from Saliba? Arsenal might be in
He's
trouble.
under attack.
Kvaratskhelia on the move. Still going, Kvaratskhelia, and it deflects and then hits the post and spins behind.
It's incredible. I mean, brilliant defending to get back across. Saliba's chased him, can't get anywhere near him, takes it away from the defender onto his left foot, so he's got a clear finish. Is it Lewis Skelly that comes across, gets a block, could go anywhere. This is a touch. That one there. Oh, lovely. I don't really know where Saliba's going, to be honest with you, but Kvaratskhelia is not hanging about. Oh yeah, I mean the defender does really well. You can argue he's a little bit fortunate, but he deserves it.
So the pressure remains on Arsenal. Doué whips in the cross.
Saka doing.
From Lewis Skelly. It's great determination from the Arsenal teenager. Fantastic.
I'll tell you what. It had to be, and it was. He just gets dallying on the ball. That's a nice touch between the two of them there. He just gets caught in possession, but boy does he do well to win the situation back.
What a battle. What a battle. Great to see. I think what you'll start seeing now creeping into the game is people getting cramped, people getting tired. This is where this game taxes you.
Well, there's another change coming for Arsenal. Madueke is ready. I think they've just called Eza back. Martinelli's going to come on.
Arsenal certainly show more ambition, Darren, in the last 5-10 minutes. It's more end-to-end now, this game.
So there's an opportunity that Show didn't deal with initially. Nuno Mendes was then able to clear it. It's opening up now, though, isn't it? Space appearing everywhere.
It's open. You're right. It's not half opened up.
So two Arsenal changes coming. Gabriel Martinelli and Noni Madueke. With 10 minutes to go in the Champions League final. 1-1 in Budapest. Havertz early, Dembele from the spot. Anybody's final from this point.
Completely different the final we watched last year, that's for sure.
Marquinhos to Hakimi. Now Fabian Ruiz, the Arsenal substitutes, are waiting down there. Doué to Kvaratskhelia and now Vitinha.
Guys, hitting that.
This is Dembele. Kvaratskhelia looking to glide through. Can't touch him in there, but he tried to flick it towards Nuno Mendes, but Arsenal come away with it. All the energy from Timber, who's been chomping at the bit to get back into the team, but now there's space over there for Doué, who can have a go at Saliba. Saliba did well. They'll get the corner though, PSG.
This is where mistakes creep in. Tired legs, tired minds.
Two substitution from Arsenal.
Different looks on Parisian faces since the penalty. So let's see whether Dembele can get the delivery right this time. From the corner, Marquinhos on the move in the middle, and it was glanced on there by Pacho.
Just took a little bit off it, didn't he? The corner, that is. It's a good area in the front post.
So the Arsenal changes.
People were watching this. Follow my channel, follow my face, guys.
Looks like Barcola's coming on.
And he's coming on for Kvaratskhelia. I'm not surprised, Ali, when he finished that run and seen the shot, he looked shattered, didn't he?
He did. He did.
Substitution for Paris Saint-Germain, number 7, Kvaratskhelia is being replaced by player number 29, Bradley Barcola.
So they bring on Bradley Barcola, who's scored 13 times in all competitions this season, French international himself. Up it goes here towards Gyökeres and Havertz. Havertz is looking to get in behind. Good defended by João Neves. Here's Victor Gyökeres. Hincapié. Now Gabriel. Piero Hincapié for Arsenal.
That's a nice flick.
Gyökeres, but Marquinhos read it well. It was the first involvement there for Martinelli since coming on.
What a the Arsenal support going against Stephen, isn't it?
Yeah, what a time to come on as a sub, Ali. Tired legs on there, loads more space.
And you've got that pace.
Chance to get the winner in a European Cup final.
He's an impactful player off the bench, Martinelli. We know that. He's been very good in cup matches this season. He's got 11 goals, 10 of them have been scored in either the Champions League or the domestic cup competition. So this is his kind of stage.
Let's go, Howard.
Long throw from Declan Rice, right into the heart of that Paris Saint-Germain penalty area. They've not cleared it, they have now. Through João Neves, but there were a 6 and a 7s there for a second or two. Fabian Ruiz then gets in the way, and Barcola can have a run for the first time since coming on. He'll test Saliba.
What a fine counter, man.
And he'll charge through, and Raya's not going to get there, is he? Oh, he is. Brilliant. I just thought for a split second that he mistimed it.
Well did. I think he takes 2 steps back, and that's the reason we do. But boy, did he do well.
Here he is again, Bradley Barcola, dispossessed by Manueke. Martinelli runs into Marquinhos, warming up now, 5 minutes left. Vitinha hits the shot from a mile away and hits it straight at Declan Rice.
That was amazing. That I just looked at David Raya, Stephen, and I saw him take 2 steps back the way, and then he came forward. I panicked myself a little bit.
Nice game, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
But he recovered well.
I thought Barcola's second touch was just slightly too big. He gave the keeper an opportunity, but he had the speed, he had the power. Just overran it a little bit.
Here's Doué. On it goes to Hakimi.
Fine counter. The goalkeeper.
Ashraf Hakimi. Takes on Martinelli, wins the corner.
It's you know something, it's slightly heavy, but he's wanting to get across the defender, isn't he?
Yeah. Raya, brilliant, so fast off his line.
Reacted really well to it.
There's the corner. Back in by Vitinha, headed out then by Timber. That's a miss kick, and now Martinelli's got the speed. Bruno Mendes is going to track back. Manueke's made a brilliant run, but that's not a very good pass. 2 options there.
There's just too much on it, isn't there? A brilliant support and run as well from Madueke. Just too much on the pass.
Fabian Ruiz moving towards the final 3 minutes of normal time in the 2026 Champions.
And that one went to penalties. The Madrid derby of... Terrific diagonal for Doué, gets the control it deserves. Desiree Doué, poked into the path of Valencia! Ripple the netting, wrong side of the netting from his point of view. I'm sure David Raya could have done much about it if it had been under the bar. It's a good setup by Doué and a good effort from Vitinha.
You feel he's got to score that, hasn't he? The game's stretched, the game's open, and all of a sudden Doué just keeps on going, has the defence backpedaling from there. Pick your spot, pick your moment, tries to whip it, gets under it. There's no conviction over the strike. He's had a few from distance. None of them particularly close, and from that distance, that's a big miss.
There's been a lot of talk in the last couple of months about goalkeepers going down in order to take unofficial timeouts. I mean, generally from your experience of life, Rob, how do you find the character of goalkeepers? Are they trustworthy people?
Absolutely.
Or is he maybe trying it on?
He is very much suffering from cramp in there, and in the 800 or so games that I played in, I never got cramp once.
Well, it's good to get a character witness of the calibre of being the ex-England goalkeeper, Rob Green, when we're all casting aspersions over David Raya facilitating another water break, which is what's happening out of shot. All the players have come over to take on fluids.
It's a team huddle down below us with Mikel Arteta in the middle of it.
I think the fans need to take on stress tablets. Still haven't conceded a goal from open play in the knockout rounds. Arsenal. It took a penalty. And it looks like it might be taking another 30 minutes at least to settle the outcome of the 2026 final. Wonderful vocal support when Arsenal need it most from their fans behind Safanov's goal. Gabriel eventually restarts. Hooked forward by Fabian Ruiz, who felt he was fouled. Rice, beyond Madwaki, away by Nuno Mendes. Barcola, oh, what a terrific challenge that is by Declan Rice.
Just opened up for a second, didn't it, Clive? He just fell. As soon as Madwaki didn't get that ball, the pitch was open up to Barkler again.
He is the beating heart of this team. Fantastic athlete, fantastic character.
Just looking at Osman Dembele in the centre circle, struggling with his hamstring there. Maybe cramp himself.
They're both hurt. Gyökeres, Pacho got to him. Gyökeres certainly got to João Neves.
He's up there as the battering ram. He's holding it up. His temptation is to lay it off first time with players, runners beyond him. Sometimes just hold the ball, let your team get up the pitch.
He has scored 21 goals for Arsenal this season. That's the best by any Arsenal player for 6 years. Gonzalo Ramos is being readied, presumably because Dembele is hardly able to move. Hakimi.
It's a spare part now at the minute, Dembele. He's offside, he's just waiting in the D if the ball might come to him at some point.
Fabian Ruiz, Desiree Doué. Moves in towards where Dembele is waiting. And again, Barkler, awkward for him to control. Let's get possession. That's good work again by Martinelli. Arsenal need that first line of defence from the forwards on the field. Hakimi. Vitinha.
2 minutes left for
Barkler.
time.
Hakimi. João Neves.
They've got less than 2 minutes to have an attack here, Clive. They've got to find something from somewhere.
On doing it their way, intent on picking the lock rather than using the dynamite. Fabian Ruiz. Have they got the combination though? Vitinha. Fabian Ruiz. Lofted in towards Barkler. Important header by Timber. Madueke. Havertz. Free kick. João Neves is seeing yellow. No sooner has he seen yellow for the foul than he throws the ball away.
Havertz, the latest one to go down with cramp. Just grateful for the foul, grateful to get in front of João Neves there. Also brings on Ramos.
First we've seen him in the Champions League since the round of 16 in March. There's a feeling that at 25 next month he needs to move on. He's had 3 seasons at Paris Saint-Germain, 45 goals without ever really being a regular. He will go to the World Cup finals with a very good Portuguese squad. He's certainly got an eye for goal, Gonzalo Ramos, but he's been rather reluctantly used by Luis Enrique. Raya. High towards Hincapié and Gabriel, who won it. Turned away as far as Rice. Gabriel again. Martinelli. Towards Havertz. Turned away by Fabian Ruiz. Madueke, well found by Saliba. 5 red shirts in the box here. Saliba. Header away by Marquinhos. Rice can't claim it. Doué has got Barkler on his way. He's got Gonzalo Ramos trying to get with him. It's Bradley Barkler. Side netting. Just about the same square inch of this stadium from which Kai Havertz scored at the start of the night.
soon as he went onto his left foot, he didn't have the conviction. And it was another opening for PSG on the break with the pace of Barcola. From there, that touch was poor, the angle was poor, the finish was worse.
No solution here. His team they were behind for a long, long time. But the penalty awarded and converted has squared up the final. It will go to extra time. We are going to be back here for commentary and full coverage of the game in just a few minutes' time. PSG 1, Arsenal 1.
He passes the ball. Go!
Heaven, when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
We're caught! That's it. I'm switching teams.
You can't just switch.
Why not? Switch my whole family to Verizon. Got the best network. Woohoo! Plus iPhone 17 on them.
Opie?
Worst game I ever seen, but the best deal.
Celebrate the dads and grads in your life. Get iPhone 17, iPad, and Apple Watch on us. No trade-in needed.
Nachos?
Oh. Thanks.
Unos tacos watching the game? Delicious. Like your team metiendo un gol. But if you have them with Pepsi, bueno, es como ver a tu portero subiendo a un corner en el último minuto. Scoring the winning goal. De chilena. En la final, against your boyfriend's team.
Simplemente sabe mejor.
CIA. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Live CBS June 7th. Get ready to raise your glass. Global superstar Pink is hosting Broadway's biggest night.
I'm gonna just talk fast and try not to cry.
This is Broadway. We'll make you laugh, then cry, then laugh again.
With electrifying performances from Broadway's hottest shows. This is one night you don't want to miss.
Thank you so much.
The Tony Awards, live CBS Sunday, June 7th, and streaming on Paramount Plus. And stream the live pre-show, The Tony Awards, Act 1 for free on Pluto TV.
Coming CBS Fall.
Guess who's back? New city, familiar universe.
NCIS New York joins the NCIS verse this fall.
Don't miss it.
NCIS New York, coming CBS Fall and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Dating these days kinda sucks.
Max, these are my parents.
If he hurts her, we eat him.
Sure thing, Charles.
Wait, what?
Eternally yours. New CBS Fall.
Welcome back to Budapest, where you're seeing scenes of the Arsenal players preparing for extra time. It is the first time in 10 years, Thierry Henry, that we are going to extra time in a Champions League final. Which of the two managers will be happy with what we saw in that second 45?
I would have to say, obviously, Luis Enrique being able to come back into the game. Possessing the ball does help, because when you're the team also trying to chase it, it's not easy. As you can see, the Arsenal players are a bit tired, but to be fair, also the Paris Saint-Germain players were also. But it's who's going to come in and make the difference. But like I said, you know, I stopped breathing when Barcola went 1v1. I think for me that was the opportunity for them to kill the game.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a moment. But the moment that changed the game came earlier on in the second half, where PSG were awarded a penalty. Mosquera caught the leg of Kvara. Any complaints?
No, because you can see that he hits the leg of Kvaratskhelia first, as you're going to see here. Then he gets the ball, yes. But before you get the ball, you got the leg of the player, so it is a penalty, and Dembélé didn't miss it.
Yeah, excellently dispatched by the ultimate Ballon d'Or winner. So we're seeing some changes made by Mikel Arteta ahead of this extra 30 minutes as they're coming into that midfield, as is Zubimendi. Thoughts on that?
You need to balance it again, because some players were tired, and Kai Havertz playing maybe as a 10 behind Gyökeres maybe wasn't the thing to do, so he tried before to try to see who could win the game. You have to go about it differently in extra time, because Paris Saint-Germain does hold the ball very well, so Zubimendi will be able to sit a tiny bit better in this type of situations.
Right, well, let's hand you back over to our commentators, Rob Green and first Clive Tilton.
Arsenal have been working towards this quarter-final, semi-final, final, just as Paris Saint-Germain worked their way to winning the Champions League for the first time in Munich a year ago. Only one team has successfully defended this title in the modern era, and that was a team of Ronaldo and Modric and Benzema. Will the engraver be etching the same name on the trophy later this Budapest evening? Or will they be carving out the word Arsenal for the very first time? Two changes to the Arsenal lineup. Substitutions inevitable. Eberechi Eze and Martin Zubimendi on, Kai Havertz and Miles Lewis-Skelly off. Rob Green, what are your feelings?
Yeah, it's going to be tight. We know it's been tight from the start, and you're looking to say who's going to unlock the key now. Unlock the door now, and just the inclusion of Eze. He has such a wonderful ability to pull something out of nowhere. Arsenal have used all their 6 subs now. That's it, including the one in extra time. They're done. So this is the 11 for Arsenal. Just wondering, as Thierry Henry was saying for Arsenal, that Havertz with Gyökeres may not have worked. Eze is a very different tool to use.
Scored a goal to win a cup final last May for his previous club, Crystal Palace, at Wembley Stadium in the English FA Cup against Manchester City. He is a scorer of special goals. Ryan Timber. Declan Rice. Here is Eze. Madueke. Plenty of support here for Noni Madueke. Cho intervened. Gyökeres was next in line for that cross.
It was vital, wasn't it? Just looking at feeding it, didn't quite get it where he wanted. Eze was on for the return as a cutback. Well, all of a sudden you see what he brings to the team as a different type of player, a player that, like you say, scores wonderful goals and has scored big goals.
Madueke will deliver the second Arsenal corner of the night. Just distracted by one or two items being thrown in his direction. Arsenal have lined up 4 players way beyond the far post. Rob said that Savanovic can be vulnerable. It's guided in towards the near post after that. And we'll have another corner, everybody back to their stations.
What's the substitute? Ramos with the header, you just feel maybe they're missing a trick without going to the far post. You feel Safanov, when he does get squared up, struggles to get back. It's not something that is going to be exploited with a near post corner.
Arsenal corners spell danger. Noni Madueke to take this one. Guided in towards the near post and totally wasted. Set-piece coach won't be very happy with that. He's a German, the famous Arsenal set-piece specialist, Nicolas Jover, but a German educated in Quebec. Studied a lot of US sport at the University of Sherbrooke.
You can be as good a set-piece coach as you like, but if your takers aren't good enough, that's the difference between Bukayo Saka and Madueke there.
Saka and Rice have delivered beautifully for him time and time again this season. They've only scored from 5 corners since January, which at the rate that they were scoring earlier in the season is a bit of a tail-off. Whether opponents are starting to get wise to his repertoire. Raya towards the head of Eze. It's a mismatch really with Pacho, but Timber got to it, stabbed away by João Neves. Bit of Pacho this time, skewed off his head to Madueke. Arsenal committing a lot of people to attack. Here's Miles Lewis-Skelly, and his swinging arm caught João Neves and conceded the free kick. I think it probably was accidental, but it will come as no consolation to João Neves.
Hand to the face straight away. Innocuous, but there was contact, there was the foul. João Neves not smiling about it. Gained an advantage from it. A little poke in the eye.
PSG are bringing on Warren Zaire-Emery. Was very unfortunate not to be in the starting 11. Fabian Ruiz will come off. Played it right back against Luis Diaz in the second leg of the semi-final, when PSG had no other options.
It's a like-for-like swap in there, and he does bring fantastic energy in that midfield when you're thinking everyone else is going to be tiring. He's got 25 minutes to make his mark.
He'd actually started 15 of the 16 Champions League games that PSG had played prior to tonight, so that's the strength of his reserves. He can step up to the podium positions for Champions League coaches with victory today, a third victory. We'll lift him up alongside Pep Guardiola, Zinedine Zidane and the late Bob Paisley into second place on that list of winners, behind the 5 of Carlo Ancelotti.
Just wondering, Clive, 5 minutes into, 6 minutes into this first period of injury time, whether the fact that PSG are so poor with their penalties, Arsenal, whether they know that, might just think, well, it's 25 minutes and you've taken a big step to a point where in the game where they probably would have taken it at the start of the game.
They were so very good last season. The Paris shootout they won at Anfield, 4 absolute perfect spot kicks. Eza. But they've lost that reputation, and 1 or 2 of the takers have lost confidence. Zaire-Emery can't clear it. Lewis-Skelly, Rice, Madueke, Lewis-Skelly. Rocker is throwing his weight around a little bit too much. João Neves always wants to get on with it. Gyökeres this time. Marquinhos did so well against him. He's giving away a few inches in reach, the Brazilian skipper. Given away by João Neves. Martinelli. Gyökeres. Oh, fantastic from Marquinhos again. And here's Gonzalo Ramos. Gyökeres trying to return. He's just going to pick up a yellow card.
A yellow card for the touch. That'll allow Marquinhos to get the tackle in, and really poor from him, really. One thing they do need from their substitute, from the centre forward, is the guarantee that the ball will stick. From this moment, that moment there, that just a bit lax, a bit loose, and criticised a lot for this season. Needs that to be tighter.
He was then on the field too, because he is a penalty taker.
We've got a natural poacher, a natural finisher in Ramos, as you were saying, Clive, on the pitch now. He's central in front of the goal. I'm not sure he's going to be looking for that first contact. Maybe one for the knockdown.
Vitinha takes. Saliba's header, glancing it away as far as William Pacho. Throw it. Seems to have recovered Ousmane Dembélé.
He can't come back on.
Vitinha. Hakimi. Here is Gonzalo Ramos. Hakimi. It's opened up for a shot. He's naturally right-footed. Scored the opening goal of the final last year in Munich.
And 10 minutes in to the central time. Arsenal will be happy. So I'll be happy to say it's just drifting. The stadium's gone quiet. And he has a sense of what is to come already.
Yeah, the equalising goal gave Paris Saint-Germain a real impetus, but they haven't really been able to re-establish that in extra time.
Just those moments that Thierry was talking about from Barcola going through the shot and the David Raya where he came out and claimed the ball. Those are the moments, but nothing the spectacular.
It's entirely from Pacho. Timber. Eza. Gabriel. Madweki. Looking to run Nuno Mendes. He got on the dangerous side of him. Referee's unimpressed. Immediately indicated he saw nothing untoward there.
No, Madweki's incensed. Declan Rice is even more incensed. Paris Saint-Germain are on the break.
Madweki's still appealing. Doué. Zaire Emery. We're getting no indication that the VAR is taking any further action in that incident.
He got the wrong side, but he didn't make a challenge. There was no effort to play the ball.
Hakimi. Zaire Emery. Vitinha. Zaire Emery is strong enough to win the ball back from Zubimendi. Desiree Doué. Vitinha. Doué. Vitinha tries to go on. Gabriel is there yet again.
Arsenal bench was up. Mikel Arteta was up. Moving over to the dugout to say what's going on. Where's the check?
The referee's going to show a yellow card to Mikel Arteta for his complaints.
Declan Rice was added to the list as well. He was incensed. He was been protesting since the incident itself.
Albert Struvenberg and Gabriel Heiser. Well, here we go.
Well, now Madweki had hold of Mendes' arm. He's got a hold of him there. You can see the initial contact, the initial grab is from Madweki.
I mean, there is no way in this world that the video assistant referee is going to overturn the decision out on the field, because it's just not a clear and obvious mistake. You can argue about it all night, and if the referee on the field had given it, then I'm not sure the VAR would have gone against him, but he didn't.
It's like I was saying, you see that initial contact. It just depends on what the referee saw. Daniel Sieber, whether he saw the arm.
Arsenal are out of substitutions here.
They're in trouble. Jesus was... Gabriel was signalling that it needs to make a change. Well, they can't. They've got none left.
It's Nkapie who's struggling with the muscles tightening up.
You just feel whether they need to make a change in terms of personnel. Put someone else at left back quick.
He's trying to stamp his foot on the ground and get rid of the cramp. Beating his own legs with his hands. Cramp can be so frustrating in that sense. But Paris Saint-Germain haven't always had the nous to make the most of moments tonight. 2 added minutes at the end of the first half of extra time.
Almost gone against their instincts at times, that killer instincts that you've got. Just go play down on Nkapie's side. Go attack him.
We're about to bring on Lucas Beraldo, the Brazilian defender who has operated as effectively as a central midfield player when he's been called upon this season, which hasn't been very often. There's just a lot of very tired souls out there now.
See how far apart the Paris Saint-Germain players are. PSG are. They're not interested in attacking now. The attack-minded players are so far away from each other.
Hakimi. It's really good from Martinelli. Stopping the cross. Pacho. Nuno Mendes, who's asked far too much of Desiree Doué. Saliba with time. Eza couldn't control it. Warren Zaire-Emery. Gonzalo Ramos has laid it off only to Noni Madueke. Eza. Here's Nkapie, who's seemed to find a little bit of life in his legs again, but it's a really poor layoff there from Gyökeres.
Yeah, need more from that.
That is the end of the first period of extra time. The boos are for Arsenal's failure to get a penalty. It's a decision that Anita can now discuss with the guys in the studio. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Clive and Rob. Yes, Mikel Arteta and Declan Rice clearly incensed there. They felt that the VAR should have reviewed that tackle on Noni Madueke in the box. How did you see it, Thierry?
Well, it's always going to be that way. You're going to have the Arsenal players that are going to ask for a penalty and the Paris player that's going to say it's not a pen. What you're going to see here, I don't know how the ref can see that, by the way, but Madueke is actually holding Nuno Mendes' arm. Hopefully we're going to see the replay instead of him here.